Yo, welcome to episode 26 of my premium podcast Experience and Friends, hosted by Splash Jordan. This episode is dedicated in memory to a young man who passed recently by the name of Corey. Real humble guy who will be missed. My guest this week is an old friend of mine who has made a life-changing decision to focus on faith and servicing God over more carnal desires of the flesh. I'm talking about the homie Chosen. He speaks about his transition at length on his new self-titled EP, available November 25th. That's Black Friday. If you like this episode of Van Friends, please rate, like, share, subscribe, comment, review on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, TuneIn, SplashJordan.com. Also, you can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SplashJordan. No more stalling. Van Friends, episode 26. Let's get to it. But do you still go by King David?
No.
No. What?
No.
What?
Nah.
You go by Chosen. Okay, that is right. Mm-hmm. But man, was the name change because of the lifestyle change, or were they unrelated? And then you kind of
they were unrelated. Chosen came about just because when I was going by King David, I was in a group. It was more of a group thing. So me just being out on my own, wanted to have my own sound, my own style. So I decided to go by Chosen.
Okay. Did the group thing, did that end amicably?
No.
No?
No.
Was it
it was more like, we agreed to go our separate ways. He's doing his own thing, I did my own thing. So
the artist that I'm familiar with, it was a lot of, hard hitting punchlines and, metaphors and, that I still remember, I still think back to damn, we was in it every day,
right.
Getting it in. What would you say? I mean, is your music still like that, or is the delivery, has that adapted as well?
The delivery is somewhat. It's still like it is. I'm still using a certain way, my metaphors and similes to try to portray a story, but it's definitely not as hard as when I was doing, my music I was used to doing.
Really?
Really not.
It's easier.
It's easier. It's easier. I was in battle mode when I was doing, early records. I was in battle mode.
Right.
I just looked at it as a battle, but I just had a beat behind me.
Okay.
See, now it's more of a testimony, my music now. What I'm going through, what my friends might be going through, what loved one might be going through. So
when you made that transition, did you lose fans? Did you lose any friends?
Nah, didn't lose any friends or fans. Wow. Everybody's like, go ahead.
I mean, that's support.
Yeah,
that is support.
It is.
That's a wonderful thing.
Man.
I'm glad to hear that. Usually, especially when a person makes that type of transition, it's
right.
You start seeing people's true colors and stuff like
right.
that. So
right.
that just means you're dealing with
yeah.
People who really, support you, enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of times people they just like to support you. So you could really be like, hey, I'm going to be, on whatever.
Right.
But it's just like, if that's what, you're going to do and that motivates you, then cool. I know you got a project that comes out in November.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The 25th.
That's Black Friday.
Okay, it's Black Friday.
Yeah,
okay,
Black Friday.
Okay. Capitalizing on
yeah.
that holiday momentum.
I am.
You dropping it on iTunes?
I'm dropping it everywhere.
Now, is it like a mixtape or is it like an album?
It's a EP.
Okay.
Extended play. It's EP is 7 songs. Just this, spoon feed people
right.
into my transition so they can help grow, so they can grow with me.
Okay.
And then after then, I'm going all in full live 12, 13 track album.
What can we expect before we listen to it? What could you compare it to?
As far as what you mean, like another artist and their music, their project?
I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying, especially from your own catalog.
Right.
Have we heard? Is this like a brand new sound, or is it kind of similar to anything that we might have heard before?
Man, it's a brand new sound.
Brand new
sound, man.
Okay.
I even switched up my scheme on it, my rhyme scheme on it. Throughout the whole project.
Okay. Okay.
So it's different all the way around.
Okay,
man.
so it's meant to sound completely different.
Meant to.
Nice. Okay, I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
sometimes, people try something different and it might not work out, but I always appreciate when somebody, tries.
Yeah.
They you flex your creativity,
Right.
like I can definitely appreciate that, man. So, I'm super excited about it. I listened to I think that was Wrote the Best Kept Secret. The one
Yeah.
the one you the one you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to that. It was like auto-tune on it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of auto-tune.
Yeah. There was. But
Okay.
But it wasn't T-Painish though.
It was not at
It
all.
wasn't robotic. I've heard a lot
no.
of artists with it. I mean, they got a lot of it on there.
Right.
I just kind of asked them, blend it in,
Right.
so I don't sound like I'm the robot from the Jetsons and something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I will say that I saw a lot of people talking about it too. Like, I definitely seen, people I don't know.
Yeah.
Posting about it, tweeting about it, talking about it. And somebody I do know liked it or or shared it or something like that. So definitely, it got a lot of attention. That's one thing for sure. It wasn't what I was, like I said,
Right.
I'm used to,
Right. The battle rap.
Yeah, like, and that's what I thought going into it. But it was straight, and I definitely fucked with it for a while too. Is there anything like you want people to know about you that you feel like they maybe don't, or?
I guess just the transition period, man. A lot of people probably want to know why.
Right.
Like I said, it's something that I've just been going back and forth with since I've been doing music. And due to certain things in my life, certain events, that help make me make that decision, I just said, I'm going to just stop fighting and I'm going to just do what God asked, do what I feel like he asked me to do, man. I'm going to just start making this music for him.
So you're saying you were conflicted in your life?
I was always conflicted with my music, man. I was always conflicted. Even when I put out my Road to BKS, I just wanted people to, at that time, I just wanted people to hear me. So when people started to hear me and I started getting feedback, it's like, okay, well, what do I do now?
Okay.
Where am I going with it? What am I going to get out of somebody listening to my project? And I just wasn't fulfilled, man. I wasn't fulfilled. So that's when I stepped out on faith, man, and started doing what I'm doing now.
That's a big thing.
It is.
That's a big thing.
It is, man.
It's not, it's not easy, and especially when you put yourself in a position like that. Usually, you become a target, or you find yourself under scrutiny.
Yeah.
People, researching you, and they won't bring up, stuff from
Right.
this many years ago.
Right.
So, how do you deal with any of that criticism?
Man, honestly, I don't even deal with it. People gonna have their own opinion about me regardless, even if I was still doing the music I was doing. Honestly, I feel like I would probably get the most hate from people who I'm making the music, like I'm giving the music towards people
right.
in the church.
Really?
Really?
You get the most hate from people in the church?
Not hate like hate, but I get the most like uppity, more of the what's the word? Those really serious Christians,
right,
who don't approve of that sound, compared to somebody who off the street who knows me, that they know that I spit, and they might hear it and they might be like, yo, that's dope. I rock with that.
Okay.
I get more scrutiny from somebody like that's in the church really heavy.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
It's crazy. It's not surprising, but
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's a place where you would expect support and understanding and love and compassion.
Right.
So it just leaves a sour taste in your mouth when that's not the case.
Right. And mind you, like I wanna definitely make sure that I don't want nobody to think or listen to this and feel like I'm talking about the Christian crowd. I'm not at all, because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. I'm trying to bridge that gap.
Right.
To get the younger generation, man, who feel like they won't get accepted or feel like they'll get judged.
You bring up an interesting topic, like a gap. First of all, that's a wide open lane. There's not, anybody who's ever took it to a mainstream level.
Uh-huh.
do you think that, these people by and large, who are the artists that you say are trying to make a transition towards like Christian rap or,
Of course, everybody knows Lecrae. Everybody knows Lecrae, man. He on BET. He's mainstream with it. The whole Reach Records, his whole label. Andy Mineo, what is his name? Tinashe. There's a dude out named Bizzle right now.
Okay. I think I heard of Bizzle before.
I mean, I don't want to say that. It's a wide open lane. It's just not as looked at like the mainstream.
Right.
But it's like, bro, I researched it, man. It's a whole, man, they got a whole thing going on over there, man.
They do. It's a whole thing going on. Sizable pie over there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sizable, and it's an uncatered to market.
Right.
Definitely, if you're into selling a service or product, it's always better to go into these markets that are untapped. They're not, oversaturated, so forth and so on. Open to collaborations?
Yeah, always, man, always. Now, right now, I didn't collaborate with anyone besides my sis. Her name's Ashley. She's a singer. Shout out to Ashley if she's listening.
Well, she gonna be listening when you tell her to listen.
Well, she was the only person that I collabed with on my road to BKS. But on my new project, I don't have any collaborations. I don't have any. It wasn't that I didn't want any collaborations. It just was more like I just wanted it to really show my story.
Okay.
So people who rock with me, they could grow with me.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But what I do from now on, I'm definitely willing to collaborate.
Now, I know you said that like you were that you didn't want to be a hypocrite.
Right.
So you're trying to change your life as well.
Right.
What's like what are some of the hardest things that you find yourself having to struggle with as far as like, either leave alone or just, turn your back on?
Definitely the atmosphere. The atmosphere of just being, cause I'm, I like the club scene a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So just being able to be disciplined to know that I'm that's not right. I can't be in that atmosphere right now. You know what I mean?
Why would you say you couldn't be in that atmosphere?
I mean, I could be in it, but it's like the things that might go on, like if a chick was to approach me,
okay,
and she might remember me from Road to BKS, like the chosen, like, you know what I mean, and I would just have to tell her, like, I'm not on that no more,
right?
So just different things that would come at me being in that whole situation,
temptation,
exactly, exactly. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it as far as that.
Wow, that's wild. See, I don't have that issue when I go to the club. When I go to the club, I'm like one of the most left alone niggas in there, bro. Like, nobody's checking for me, not the bartender. The only people who see me is niggas. Mean mugging, bro. That's the only people who ever look at me.
Oh, man.
It's them hating ass niggas in the club, bro. Everybody else, bro, has on shades and they walking with a stick, bro. Yeah. I swear, like, they cannot see me. Yeah. It's just niggas mean mugging and ice cold looks as soon as I get in from everybody, and then just until I leave. That's pretty much my club experience.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yo, it's life, man. So
yeah,
I make do, man. But I mean, that's real though. That you would say that I can always appreciate. Like, I mean, of course, I like people like, Jay-Z and Future and Cole and just anybody you can name, right. But it's like, my thing, and this is with music, period. I can never understand how a person could like music or an artist and you can't relate.
Right.
On some levels I can relate to Jay-Z, but on like 99 levels I can't. Like, I mean, his life is completely different than mine.
Right.
I haven't done like a millionth of the things that he's done. So it's like, he's talking, I mean, he's speaking to me, as an adult, which I like.
Yeah.
And it's clever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what this shit is,
right,
bro.
Right.
Like, I ain't never had Ace of Spades. I don't got no Hublots. I don't got no gator straps, nothing, bro. Like, zilch. So like when I can listen to a person and I can relate, that's to me that means a lot more a lot of times than just the things they saying. Just like being able to relate to their life and their situations. Is that important to you? Like that your audience can relate to you, or is it more so like the artistry?
Definitely them being able to relate to me is really what matters.